Hey, I'm Pants.
Hey, I'm Cine.
And this is the Breeze in the Trees Net. So, folks, unless you're living under a rock, you have noticed that there's a lot of very racially intense stuff going on in the world today. And so just like all of, because I'm trying to follow example.
Yeah.
I'm a student still. I'm learning the journalism arts, and it seems like everybody goes and finds a black guy.
Yeah.
So for today, guest starring our local black guy, C.
Absolutely.
It's nice to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, some more coffee.
No. Thank you very much. So, it's good that I met you, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of racial tension out there in the world, and that's why I want to bring you in, so we can talk about this.
Yes. I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it. So there were 2 cops, big cases recently, that these cops were acquitted, no charges by Supreme Courts.
Mm-hmm.
One in Ferguson, Missouri, Darrell Wilson,
Yes.
cop over in Ferguson, Missouri. He was acquitted. Rioting started happening, looting. If, like I said, if you had not lived under a rock, you've heard of this.
Yes.
And also, a cop who choke-held Eric Gardner out and killed him. Recently, if you're interested in the case, there's some extra footage someone took like behind them. It was like 7 or 8 minutes of them just being like poking them, just like, yeah, dude, you're good.
But this goes back as far as the Trey Martin case with discrimination.
Yeah.
This definitely goes back as far as that and a little bit further, you know, where the racism is like high tension for what? For what we all put here for a reason. You know, I have nothing against white people.
I have nothing against black people.
I just say, like, for me to be a black man, I should be able to walk down the street at 12 o'clock midnight without having a cop harassing me, asking me where I'm going or what are you doing outside. No, but as a grown man, there should be no reason for that. But I'm bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for me to feed into his negative energy. You having a bad day? That's your bad day. And I'm not, like, trying to get home to my family. So, of course, you start raising your boys. That's when they're gonna start getting out of control. I mean, I call that abusing authority.
Abusing authority. Trying to show that they're superior, their superiority in their position.
But I also want to bring up something. Because we're talking about racism and all this going on, the rioting. It's coming close to 100.
Oh yeah.
It's coming close to 100. It's in New York City right now, in the Big Apple. It's going on out there.
Yeah.
It's rioted, looting. It's going on. You know, and I think they trying to make this into like a purge, where instead of the cops killing us off, let us all kill each other off, because they're trying to get human population control. That's what it's all about. That's what I believe they're trying to do. Eric Fraie.
If you folks are familiar, go back. We did a whole bunch of videos on Eric Fraie very early in the channel's existence. He killed a guy. Right?
Yes. This young man made FBI's top 10 for killing a cop. How do you make top 10 for killing a cop, but when a cop kill another innocent human being, unarmed?
All these cases we see in the news, there's a couple recent cases. There was that 12-year-old kid, Amir Bryce, over in Cleveland. Within 2 seconds, the cops were all on the scene, bam, shoot him dead. That was November 22nd, so that wasn't that long ago.
Exactly.
And we're yet to see what happens to that, obviously. But case after case after case, cops rolling in and killing people. If you take Darrell Wilson out of the case, just put anybody else in that scenario, you still have the problem of the racial profiling and the problem of the police trying to assert their authority. Right? Now, I feel like they're 2 separate problems, though. Right? The police brutality and trying to assert their authority and the racial profiling are 2 separate problems. But statistically, the young African American male is going to be #1 target.
Absolutely.
Very unfortunate studies pointing that it's just absolute horrible racism that's in our system now.
Yes, but I also want to make something known to the public that, yes, we do have people of color that are out there committing crimes. White people committing crimes. We got Jewish people. We got different people committing crimes around. But the black male is the most dominant person, and I feel like they think we are a threat.
The average person on the street will identify a young African American male, a young black guy, as more threatening just based on a photograph.
Yes.
Than anybody else out of those photographs. Statistically, that's the person, and they usually guess their age. They make them 4 years older on average than they actually are. Because they're threatening that old, obviously. And yes, this is an inherent problem. The way that so many movies and the pop culture, the way that the rap industry, unfortunately, pushes the whole criminal element and like celebrates the criminal element, reinforces and gives reasons for the white prejudice folks out there to reheat those racial
like this happened to me not too far shot back. I'm walking down the street in New York City. Okay, we have police officers, driving unlocked vehicles.
Yeah.
We call them TNT.
TNT?
Yeah, they are called. Those are the knobs. We call them jump out boys because they jump out there, see if you have a gun or anything. But they made me feel so uncomfortable that they had me unzip my jacket, lift up my shirt, and turn around just to see if I had a firearm.
And you're just walking down the street.
And I'm just walking down the street. But it's okay for them to do that to people.
And guaranteed they're not going to do that to some white Jewish businessman coming out of his office building in Manhattan.
With a suitcase.
With a suitcase. They're not going to be like, hey, what's in the suitcase? Let me pat you down for a gun. Because, like, oh, no, he's not.
He's a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, he's not.
He's definitely not a threat. But I really say that we're going back to the old days. We're definitely going back to the old days because it's picking up. It's going to be, they're trying to make it into a white-black war. With the Black Panthers and all that, they trying to basically move your clock back 300 years. That's what they're trying to say. You see it. It's on newspapers. It's on the internet. They're trying to make this back into the old days. But they're not thinking about the kids' futures as the kids was growing up at all. They're not thinking about their future.
There's when I'm sitting down with Big Rob or other guys in the network, we're figuring out topics to talk about. Like, sometimes they're really silly topics. But if there's a dilemma, this is something that my English teachers, different teachers I had over time, when you're presenting that, you say, this is the problem, these are the details, and you close that off with, what do we do about it? This is what you can do about it.
Yes.
And so when it comes to this particular scenario, I mean, the exact scenario is there's rampant police brutality fueling this racial tension, this full-out rioting, protesting, a lot of peaceful protests still, but in cities one after another because of different cases across the country.
Exactly, but they are similar to each other.
They're all similar to each other, and so they heat the emotions,
Exactly.
or they re-stir the emotions over and over again.
But there's something wrong with this picture. There's definitely something wrong with this picture.